Hello friends, so this is our fourth lecture of envy. We saw that we are dealing with private envy, and in this, who are the people or who envies whom? That's what we are trying to find out here. And now we found people who have no virtues, people who are inquisitive, people who are unable to attain the abilities of others. So now we find that men of noble birth are noted to be envious towards new men when they rise. The fourth category is that men of noble birth. So when they see men of noble birth, so when they see some other people who are not of noble birth coming up, say for example a poor man, he goes abroad, he makes plenty of money and comes back and gets the status of a nobleman of that place, then what happens? The already existing nobleman, he will think, is he coming up to my level? That is not good. That has to be prevented. He will think like that. For the distance is altered, because before that, nobleman high, then the poor man low, or a low class man. But now what happens is, the distance is changed. They come closer, almost the same status. And it is like the deceit of the eye. So then you look like that, he is coming up to that level. It's not good. As if he thinks that his eyes are deceiving him. That when others come on, they think themselves go by. So when people are coming up, new rise people, as it happened in England immediately after the plague. See, a new rich middle class came up. So what happened is that the already existing noblemen, they felt envy towards these people, because their distance is becoming less. That's the thing, almost attaining the same status. And next one is deformed persons. Deformed persons, these are physically challenged. Deformed persons, eunuchs and physically challenged persons, eunuchs, old men, bastards, and are envious towards others. Because we can see that deformed person, when a physically challenged person sees another person who is perfectly alright, very handsome, it's natural that you feel envy towards. Secondly, eunuchs. Eunuchs means their sex is not determined. That is eunuchs means. That is sexless, you can say like that. So such people, they will, when they see, they are not people who may not, or they don't have the ability to enter into marital relationship. So when they see other people, they are getting married, producing children and so on, naturally they will also envy others. That is old men. Old men, when they see young men, very energetic and running here and there, playing games and so on, they will think, oh, I cannot do these things. But he forgets that once upon a time he could do it. He thinks like this, I cannot do it. So he feels envy. That's what the Bacon says. I don't know, old men are like that, I have no idea. And then bastards. Bastards means illegitimate children. Illegitimate children, when they see legitimate children, they can feel, no doubt about that. They can be envious of those people who have got parents and parents looking after them and so on. It can happen. Listen, for that possibly meant his own case. For that possibly meant his own case, will do what he can to impair others. Impair others. What possibly you cannot do yourself. For example, deformed person cannot become a formed person. Eunuchs cannot become a person with say virility. Old men cannot become young, and bastards. Illegitimate persons cannot become legitimate. So for he that possibly meant his own case will do what he can to impair others. So you cannot correct your case. So then what happens is you want to do some damage to other people. Except those defects light upon a very brave and heroical nature, which thinketh to make his natural want, means lack. What is lacking, natural want? Part of his honor. In that, it should be said that an eunuch or a lame man did such great matters affecting the honor of a miracle, as it was in Narcissus the eunuch and Aegislaus and Tamburlaenes that were lame men. So this is the thing. If you cannot mend it, means correct it, your position, your situation, then you feel like doing some harm to others. Can be maybe envy or by whatever means. Because a lame man did such great matters. Otherwise, what happens is that sometimes these defects, people with defects will come out victorious and very successful in life. That's what it is. Except, it says, should be wanted them, etc. It should be said that an eunuch or a layman did such great matters in spite of the defects that they have by their birth. These are all by their birth. Lame, for example, deformed. You become a bastard, it is not your choice. You become an illegitimate child, it is not your choice. You become a eunuch, it is not your choice. You become old man, of course, that also is not your choice. So you cannot correct yourself. So you want to do some harm to this. Except these defects light upon, means fall. Or these defects are found. Light means found. These such great affecting honor of miracle as so that light upon. That's what it says. Light means part of his honor, make his natural wants. That is to make his natural want part of his honor. So that is what is lacking in him. He manages to convert that into a position of or attain a position of honor. In that it should be said that an eunuch. Example, he had Narcissus. Narcissus is a eunuch. Narcissus. He is a eunuch. And then what happened is he was famous general of Emperor Justinian of Rome. Defeated the Goths and then won back Italy. He was a eunuch. What of that? He did not bother much about his defect. Instead, he wanted to attain a place of honor. So he used all his energy and all his talents. What happened is that he became a general, a very famous general. So what happens? History will say, see, look, although he is a eunuch, he has won great honors for the state or for his emperor. Then laymen, for example, Tamburlaenes. The original name is Timur the Lame, Tamburlaenes. Next one is Tamburlaenes, that is a deformed persons, no? Tamburlaenes. The name is actually Timur. Timur the Lame. Now that has become a corrupt. Tamburlaen is the corrupt form of Timur the Lame. Tamburlaen established the Mughal dynasty in India. The whole of Central Asia he conquered, but he was lame. Tamerlane the lame. Same with Aegislaus. Another person is the deformed person, Aegislaus. Aegislaus was the king of Sparta, but he was a great general and a ruler, small, ugly and lame. He was small, ugly and lame. There are people with defects, but what did they do in life? In life they worked miracles. So normal is people with defects should envy people who have no defects. But in certain cases, like the case of Narses, the famous general of Justinian, or Aegislaus, the king of Sparta, the ruler, great ruler and general, although he was ugly and he was lame, and Tamerlane, who was lame, but he established the Mughal dynasty in India. The whole of Central Asia he conquered. Understand? Because they converted their defects, they converted their weakness into something great. So these are exceptions. In normal case, what happens is that defective persons will definitely envy people who have no defects. But in cases like this, that's what we will go through that sentence once again. For he that possibly meant his own case will do what he can to impair another's. A person who cannot correct his own defects will definitely think of harming others, envious. Except these defects light upon. These defects are with light upon. These defects are with a very brave and heroical nature. So like for example Narses, Tamerlane and Aegislaus. They are great and heroical nature, which thinketh to make his natural want, natural defect. He thinks of making his natural defect part of his honor. That's what all these three men did. Narses the eunuch, Aegislaus the lame, and Tamerlane the lame. They became heroes of their country. Although they had some deformity, they were physically challenged. Narses the eunuch, Aegislaus and Tamerlane, that were lame men. Aegislaus and Tamerlane, they were lame men. The same is the case of men that rise after calamities and misfortune. So that is another set of people. Those who suffer calamities and misfortunes. They are liable to envy others. Those who suffer, much. They definitely will have a tendency to envy others. The same is the case of men that rise after calamities and misfortune. Calamities, great tragedies. That is calamity means. So, one fine morning, all your business is, or there is an accident, suppose. You are going, or all your business, you slowly built up a business empire. Then in few days time, for some reason, it simply disappears. It can be natural calamity. For example, Antonio in Merchant of Venice. Antonio was a great businessman. He had got many ships. Then what happened, as we know? Not because of his problem or his mismanagement, but external reasons. All his ships perished, and overnight he became a poor man. So in the Antonio's case, that is a calamity as far as he is concerned. Such people, and also people who unfortunate. Say you are healthy and you are the champion, but suddenly you are struck by cancer. What will you do? You are unfortunate. Then misfortune. For they are the men fallen out with the times. They are the people who have suffered and think other men's harms is redemption. When they come to know that another person is also like me, suffering from cancer, it's a kind of comfort for him. See that? He thinks that he is also suffering. Or when Antonio is already upset with his misfortune, calamities, then he finds that somebody else is also, some other person like him, some businessman like him, some business magnate like him, he also had the same misfortune or calamity, then he will think, there's one more person like me. That's a kind of, what you should say, it gives some comfort to think like that. And such people, their own suffering, to a compensation for their own suffering, they will envy those people who are rich and who are fortunate. Understand that? Because these are people who are suffering from calamities, from misfortune. They become unfortunate people. Say cancers or some other diseases, some unknown disease it can happen. Such people, they are liable to envy others. Understand? That's the thing. So now we have seen who envies whom. We have seen. Now first you saw that is people who have no virtue, they envy virtue in others. People who don't have talents, and when they try to become like the talented person and they try to become equal to him but fails, such people envy talented persons. Third, that we saw, inquisitive people, they have some play pressure. Fourth one we saw, men of noble birth, when they think new people coming up in life, they are afraid that their status will diminish. So that distance will diminish. And they look at, they will think, oh, my eyes are deceiving me. He has a BMW car, I have a BMW car, he has a BMW car. Understand? I know only up to that. So then that is, okay? He used to come or go around with the Maruti 800. But now soon he has come up to that level. Oh, are my eyes deceiving me? You think that. Oh, he starts envious. And people, deformed persons like lame and eunuchs, old men and bastards. These people, there is a possibility that they will envy others who are not eunuchs, who are not bastards, who are young and who have not defect. Unless otherwise, these defects fall on people who have heroic nature or people who have extraordinary energy. What will they do? They will convert this they will not envy others, they will convert their defects into great positions of honor. They will become heroes of the state. Like Narcissus the eunuch, Agesilaus the lame, and Tamburlaine the lame. That can happen. Then another group of people who can envy is people who suffer from calamities and misfortunes. Unfortunate people. They will definitely, there is a possibility that they may envy those people who are not suffering from any calamities or who are fortunate. These are possibilities. And there is a mental peace. Mental peace they get when they find that another person equally suffering, another person equally unfortunate. Then they will feel, that's okay. They will be happy. Understand? We will continue. So before we leave for today, so let us become battle ready. COVID is a worldwide threat, virus versus humans, a fight around the globe, across the world. War rooms fight COVID. so we remain battle ready. Use your this time that you get, be academic and be alert. Use your brain, and I would say that this is the best time for reading the essays of Bacon and also studying grammar. I have already in my tutorial series 243 classes I have taken. Major topics I have covered. Of course, some more major topics are there, like tense and a lot of things I have done. So if you have time enough, you can go through that. Learning grammar is a lifetime treasure. See you again, happy and healthy and happy. Soon we will see again. So take care of your health. Bye. Enjoy your life.